What's up guys, I'm Chirag and welcome to part 14 of the tutorial series on Python basics tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to cover the for loop in Python. So basically for loops is used to iterate or traverse over a list or a dictionary, or it can be a tuple. Basically we can call them a sequence, or it can be any iterable object. Right, so let's get started. So the basic syntax of the for loop is for element in, this can be list or sequence, colon, enter, and it could be any statement. Right, so this is how for loop looks like. So let's quickly define a list. So let me say example underscore list equal to some values. Let me say apple 1, 2, 3, 4, right, and something like that. Now I want to iterate over this list, right? So if we look at the syntax, then it will be for element in the list in what, right? So basically it's going to be a list. So that's going to be x underscore list colon, I will say print element. Right, now let's go ahead and run this. So I need to go to that directory. I will say cd documents YouTube tutorial. So here I will say python 3 for underscore p14.py, and if I say enter, then you will be able to see this outcome, that is apple 1, 2, 4, right? So this is how we can iterate over a list using a for loop, right? So basically what happens is that this individual element becomes a variable, that is element, right? And that's the variable that we are printing on line number 9. So for example, it goes something like this: for element, so it will look for the first element, it will fetch the first element, that is apple, and it will print it. Then again the for loop continues. Now the element becomes 1, right? And we say print, and it will print 1, and it will go on, right? So this is how we can iterate over a list using a for loop. Now if I say I want to generate a sequence, right? So if you remember, then we are incrementing counter equal to counter plus 1 within the while loop, right? And we didn't have any predefined sequence. So let me comment this first. So I can say for element in range. What range? I will say 1 to 10, for example, colon, print element. Now if I go ahead and run this, let me clear this. So as you can see here, we have the outcome as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So basically we can generate the sequence using this range function, and it is inbuilt within Python. So this is what something you can use to generate the sequence, right? And apart from that, like while loop, we can also use else part along with for loop. So we can say something like this: else print sequence exit, something like this, right? And if I run this, oops, and as you can see, we have the outcome, that is 1 to 9, and finally it went to the else part, that is sequence exit, right? So you can play around with this. So well, that's all I wanted to cover in this tutorial. And as usual, if you want me to do tutorial on any use case or service, then please leave them below, and I will try my best to come up with a tutorial as soon as possible. And if you have any queries or comments, then again please leave them below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and see you next time.